What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and this one I want to break down why the market's going absolutely crazy, why SPY dumped in the morning, then jumped 40 points, then came back down only to bounce again. So I'm going to break down what's going on. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. Anyways, so what's happening so far? Okay. The market basically opened, and obviously there was still a lot of fears about the tariffs. So we started to dip and dip and dip. SPY was at 482. Then all of a sudden, we got this huge news that came out. The headlines were saying that according to one of Trump's advisors, Trump is expected to announce a 90-day tariff pause, right? This news came out, so the market bounced like crazy. SPY went from 482, and within a couple of minutes, it pumped to about 523. The QQQ went from 402 or 403 all the way up to about 443. So 40 points is how much the market bounced. Crazy bounce, right? But then all of a sudden, President Trump announced that the news is fake. It was a fake headline. It's not real. Despite the fact that CNBC and Reuters shared this, it was actually not real. And the White House is now denying that this, was the truth, that anyone had said this. And this is absolutely insane. So the news is not real, apparently, and there's no confirmation of Trump announcing any tariff pauses anytime soon so far. And, despite the market kind of like pumping, it actually ended up dumping when that happened. And now it's trying to get bought back up again. One of the reasons it could be getting bought back up is because of technicals, and then also because of the fact that some advisors are saying that 50 countries have reached out for tariff talks with the White House. Now, this news has been out. It's been out for like the last couple of days, so this is real, to my knowledge. So there are advisors saying that there's lots of countries trying to negotiate with President Trump. Right now, we have Vietnam and Japan who are essentially doing that. Now, in terms of our economic calendar, we just have a couple of bill auctions coming out, and that's pretty much it. Going back to the charts, let's actually break down some key levels. So the chart has a nice double bottom on SPY. If we turn down, we end up losing 499.6. Okay, we could be turning back down to 494. And if that fails us, then I do anticipate this is going to be dumping back down. If we could hold above 499, we're looking for us to be retesting this 510 area at the 50 EMA. If that breaks, I do expect us to continue to push, and we're going to be looking more bullish. So break 510, we're looking even more bullish. As long as we're above 499, we're favoring upside a little bit more. If we lose 499, we turn a bit more bearish. If we lose 494, we turn even more bearish. We turn strongly bearish. Okay, so right now the chart's looking bullish. It's favoring upside despite all the madness, the kind of like pump and dump move. We have a double bottom on SPY. It's trying to push a little bit. So I think that this excitement is helping the markets get bought back up, not to mention the negotiations that are going on with the tariffs. For the QQQ, we're looking for 426.93 is our main support. If we hold this, we're looking for an attempt to push for the 430s, all the way back up towards, like, for instance, we have this resistance at 432. Then we also have like almost 440s our targets. If we lose 426 and can't hold it, we're looking for essentially 418 is the main support here. If that fails us, we could be dipping back down. Looking at the charts, you guys can quite clearly see we have a double bottom here, and we're favoring upside for the 430s. So we're looking pretty good so far. On the Russell 2000, we also have a double bottom. If we end up losing 180.93, we're looking for 178 as our main support. As long as we're above 180, we're actually favoring upside for 185. So I think we're doing a great job. On ES, we have a triple bottom that formed. If we lose 49.87, we're going to be turning back down. As long as we're above the 5,050s, we're going to be favoring the 5,100. So I think we're doing a fantastic job as well. For NQ, if we lose 17,280, we're looking for an attempt to push for almost 18,000 soon. So we're looking pretty good so far, at least for bulls with this double bottom. But if we end up losing 17,095, we could turn right back down towards the lows. So if this 20 EMA fails us, we could be dipping back down. Overall, it's looking quite good. Bitcoin also has like an inverse head and shoulders like structure. We need to hold above 77,000. As long as that holds, we're favoring the 80,000 to 81,000 range. If 77,000 fails us, still we could turn back down. So we'll just have to see how it goes. For Nvidia, we have a double bottom as I was talking about earlier. If we lose 92.87, we're bearish, and as long as we're above 95, we're favoring that we want to be going back up to 100 plus. It looks pretty good so far. For Tesla, very, very wild volatility, by the way. So this went from like 215 to about 252. Then it came back down. Now it's trying to bounce again. With the double bottom here, we're looking for an attempt to push for 239.91. If that breaks, we're looking for a bigger push up. So basically, break 240, we're looking even more bullish. And then what else is going on is if we start dumping and we end up losing 231, we could turn back down towards like 222. I want to see us break 240 to remain more bullish. We could attempt to get closer to there, but we're technically in a range right now. Decent move by Tesla is favoring that it wants to go a little higher from here, but just be careful with this range. For Apple, we're looking for essentially 183. If we lose that, we're going to be dumping to about 180 flat. As long as we're above this, we're favoring essentially 190 plus. So I think we're doing a good job, at least so far. It has more upside potential nonetheless, so just keep that in mind. For others out there, we also have, let me just double check this. We have Coinbase, which looks a bit more bullish. So long as we don't end up losing 157, we're favoring the 160s. If we do end up losing that support at 157, we could turn back down towards 152. So watch those levels. Looks decent so far. Amazon, if we end up losing 172, we could be dumping towards 168. As long as we're above 172, we're favoring 180 as a potential target on Amazon. I'm looking for 178 and 180 as our targets. We look pretty good. Even Meta, as long as we don't lose 508, we're favoring 525. If we lose 508, we could turn back down to 498 or below. So overall, we look a bit more bullish for the 520s. For Microsoft, if we break and hold above 360, we're going to be favoring a pushback up to 365. If we lose 355, we're going to be turning back down towards 350. So be careful. It still looks a bit more bullish. Google looks a bit more bullish. So long as we don't end up losing 148, we're actually favoring 152. So keep that in mind. Last but not least, the VIX is showing weakness. We're looking for support at 42.13. If that fails us, the VIX is going to be dipping more, which tends to be bullish for the markets. So the market's looking a bit more bullish, but we do have this resistance to watch for on SPY. Keep in mind, guys, that we have to be careful with the news. The news is very tricky. The market's reacting a lot to it. We jumped 20 or 40 points on SPY in the QQQ because of some headlines, but it was fake news. So it's just crazy. That's why I'm telling you to be careful. News is not always real. Even credible sources could be misinformed and mistakes do happen. So keep that in mind. And as a quick update, the White House has not confirmed any pauses on the tariffs yet, but they have confirmed that more than 50 countries have reached out to them for tariff talks. This has been coming out for the last couple of days, like I said before. So with that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. Please have a good day. I'll be back in a couple of hours for another update. Until then, have a good one and peace out.